So they're not cheap suits.
They're not some of those guys we're talking about the 44 guys that are freshmen that have either redshirted or have never played it down. So that's one of those things that really, you can lay your head on a pillow at night knowing, hey, those guys are legitimate guys. They live, sleep, and breathe our culture.
Bring different assets to the table.
Definitely than the other two guys. I mean, if you talked about Worley. To me, Worley's one of those guys, almost going back to like a Curtis Grant, that he's kind of the heart and the soul. I know he's in the linebacker room, he's kind of that, and really defensively, he's that guy that provides energy every single day, from his demeanor to what he says to how he plays the game. The head coach will tell you he loves to be around him. And then Dante Booker is one of those guys too. He was probably the top guy from our group and one of the top guys in Coach Mick in the offseason that is just a grinder, a guy that works his butt off, that has unbelievable ability. It's his time to shine.
He said something, he's got to work on his fundamentals, almost like he's referring to his mental game. His physical is there.
He's been one of the best fundamental guys we've had. And now all of a sudden you get thrown in some of those situations where it's your time to lead and be that guy, and sometimes that's what goes the other direction. But in general, he's just one of those guys, just continue to build his confidence in what he does. And he's one of those guys you really want to let fly.
When you have a guy like Raekwon coming back, you lost a good one last year to the NFL. And then you got a guy like Raekwon here. What does that mean for being the leader of the defense?
Well, we lost a great one.
A great one.
And we got a great one coming back. And to be honest with you, Raekwon was really one of the leaders of the defense last year. That middle backer guy, he's got to have those attributes. Another year, to me, the biggest thing about Raekwon is continue to push him, to get him out of that comfort zone, to continue to have him grow, put those things in front of him like Coach does all the time. What is the expectation? The expectation is to be like number 33 was a few years ago. The guy was a 3-time All-American. He was a Bronco Nagurski Award winner. You still got room to grow. And in the long run, if you're not ahead of where he was and become a true first-round draft pick, then we aren't pushing to get better. So, but he's one of those guys that lives, sleeps, breathes what we say. And he's a selfless guy. He defines my leadership, making others around him better.
Physically, how talented is Dante?
Dante's as talented as we've had. I mean, everybody's got little different attributes, but Dante is one of those guys that's, if you just say as a running, striking, hitting, tackling guy, he's off the chart.
Last year you played against Penn State, as you said, had some good plays, some bad plays. He'd say it was a huge learning experience for him. Can you elaborate on that?
It was a huge learning experience for him to get out there in front of. The one thing that happened to him was he ended up cramping up. Well, why? Because it means so much to him. It's so much anxiety. And it's not because he's not hydrated, not physically fit. His anxiety gets the best of him so much because he's such a passionate guy that he ended up cramping up. So not only was it great for him to get out in front of 110,000 people and play, but to learn to handle that anxiety and be able to push through some of those things.
How will
bring
the
up
edge
that these guys
help
are
this team?
How will
the edge? How will that mantra help?
Well, I think we all know that there's an edge. I think it's making a heightened awareness of what it is, and then really starting to teach those guys and make sure they understand how to get through that edge. Because we've all been there, every single guy, and I try to tell them all the time, everybody's edge is a little bit different, but we're trying to train them and teach them from the mind out. And when their mind starts to go, when they hit that edge, because it's a mental thing, they got to have ways that they can push through, things that they can talk to themselves about, things that they can notice from one another, so they can help each other out.
Look, when you talk with Worley and Booker, do you talk about following in big footsteps, or do you talk about creating your own footsteps? I mean, obviously they're taking over two guys who got drafted. I mean, what's sort of the approach with them to?
Well, we set an expectation so that there's no wandering or oh, well, that might be a big shoes to fill. Nick Bosa walks in front of Joey Bosa. Yeah, we're going to put that in front of you because guess what that does? That puts more pressure on you, and we believe that pressure is going to continue to make you grow. So we talk about it. I say, hey, there's a standard set, and at the will linebacker spot, it might be. It's not just 37. There's a guy with number 10, Ryan Shazier. There's a guy with number 47, and A.J. Hawk. There's a standard set, and that's what we expect you to live up to. And that's hard, that's tough, but that's kind of the way we work around here, is put those guys in situations, make sure, I believe young men, especially young men, live up to what you expect of them. Yeah. If we just expect them to be the next starter, then they'll be the next starter. But if we expect them to be a next All-American, a great one, I believe they'll live up to it.
What have you noticed immediately out of Nick Bosa? I mean, he's been around for a couple of months now and stuff. What have you just picked up from him, maybe
he's different
personality-wise?
Than his brother. Yeah. He's different than his brother. Not good or bad, or maybe he's an inch shorter than his brother. He's stronger than his brother. So there's a lot of give and take there. But I know personality-wise, he's that guy that provides some charisma. I can assure you he's got some great confidence in what he does.
Have you done a double take seeing that 97 out there? I mean, it looks like he does some of the same mannerisms.
Yeah, until I see the palms up and a little bit of shrug after a sack, I still notice I notice the difference right now.
Would you see him getting ready?
I
a
hope.
long way
I hope
away.
we're
but
a long way away. I hate to put the cart before the horse in any of those
Okay.
young guys. And there's a lot of guys in that class that when we go back in here, we'll start talking about and then show flashes. But until they put it all on and see somebody stick their face in there and make a tackle and handle the chaos and the adversity that we give them, we're gonna continue to kind of hold the opinion as much as we possibly can.
But you're leaning on young guys. I mean, you're leaning on a lot of young guys in this class.
We will continue to do it. And in this program, you're going to continue to lead on young guys, because if guys aren't coming in here and producing in 3 years and possibility of leaving, in 4 years and possibility of leaving, you're going to continue to recruit the best. And guys are going to come in here and you're going to expect them to play. And coach challenges us. That's on us. They have the ability. They have the instincts. Now the only thing holding them back is the coaching. So there's ability to put not only pressure on those guys to be the very best in the country, but us as well.
How do you feel about the depth and how guys like Worley and Booker are being pushed? How much depth is there?
I think there is some, and that's where some of the youth is. I promise you this, Jerome Baker is going to give every single guy in that room push. He can give push to Worley, he can give push to the Willbacker. Justin Hilliard's going to give those guys push. We got to continue to find ways we can push Raekwon McMillan. Craig Fader's going to give him some push. Those other young guys, but we have to have the ability to maybe even slide somebody else in there that we can continue to push him in ways too. But that's the greatest thing. I can say that probably one of the greatest things we've had around here, especially at the linebacker spot, is the ability to have competition and to know that, hey, we're going to play the best three. And that doesn't mean we're going to play the next Mike. That doesn't mean we're going to play the next Will. We're going to find a way to get the best three on the field, and that's the way we train them.
what do you think?
For those
ahead.
guys, I mean, you're at the stage of camp now where physicality picks up and 2-a-days started, scrimmage Saturday. Just how big is this stretch for some of those young guys to kind of make an impression and find out what you got?
They make an impression every single day, but this is huge. And the biggest thing about these guys, they got to get through the mental side of things. It's going to be tough, it's going to be hot, it's going to be hard, it's going to be all those things. But as long as they can get through that, if they can understand that, hey, it's really about how hard will you go and let your instincts play. I remind them all the time, and I make them say it. I say, why are you here? I can't exactly say what I want them to say, but they have to say they're really good, okay? So that they remind themselves they're here for a reason. Okay, they're here for a reason because they're really good at what it is that they do. They're fast, they have instincts, they play hard. Okay, let that fly, and we'll teach you all the rest.
Do they have a good Berger and Faded, do they do the best Fickle impression? I understand they won a contest.
They didn't get after me. We kind of have a little pack in that room. That's what happens in that room stays in that room. So they kind of left me out of it last night. So, but I'm sure there's more to come. So we'll see.
But the cheap suit, they said that is your number one. That's your.
I'm sure they've got a little book of phrases. So I know when I was in school here, we had one for Bill Young, and so I hope I can carry some of them one-liners on from Coach Young.
Was G. Golly in that line? Was G. Golly in